Welcome to a brand new episode of Direct Dil Se, where we meet and chat with ordinary people with extraordinary stories. So welcome to another brand new episode of hashtag Direct Dil Se. And today with us we have Andrew Kai Hansing with us. Thank you Andrew
for having me.
Coming to A Home for doing this podcast with us. And Andrew here is from Haflong. He's from Sompijang village, and he's a young science student. He has just finished his 6-month teaching stint at Gunjung, right? But we know Andrew better as a poet, and he has written a book of poems and self-published it, and it is titled My Sensational Hometown.
No, there's no my. It's just sensational.
Oh, sensational.
And sadly, we do not have a copy of it.
We do not have a copy of it.
So
just my bad.
After this conversation,
I'll get it.
We should have the book. We should have the book by the end of this podcast.
But online, we have been reading all his poems even before he published it. So let us start with that. Sensational Hometown. Andrew, sensational Q Haflong.
Sensational because I actually came up with this idea when I was living in the town. I used to look around the town, and I saw that there were many positive things in our town. But sadly, when we see Haflong in the news, the main reason why the Haflong was in the news is because it has to be something sensational, like there's a bomb blast, or like there is because of militancy or something like that. So it is just a sarcastic take on saying that our hometown is not actually sensational, but it has become sensational because it comes up only when it is sensational. That's the reason why I named it Sensational Hometown. It came a long time ago, so it lost prominence as it went on, but I think it still it still takes different meanings. It's still sensational.
It is
still sensational today.
Andrew, I think recently you have just finished your teaching stint at Gunjung. So tell us a bit about that. Gunjung में क्या कर रहा था? कहाँ में पढ़ाते रहा तुम?
I was actually a teacher for 6 months, teaching maths for 6 months at Tularam Memorial Good Shepherd School. It was a good experience because I love the children, the way I mean they were so much of what I have never seen. It was a different angle of this district that I've never seen. I mean, we in Haflong we have this huge diversity, but over there's no such thing as diversity over there. So I feel like it was something different. I understood the Masa culture more, and I think it was one of the best experience of my life. I think it was very good for me.
But you just told me a few minutes ago that like you will stop teaching for now. So what are the future plans then, and why are you like stopping that?
Yes, I found out that actually teaching is not my thing. I mean to say that I have a different view on teaching now. Before I used to think that this teaching was not so much of a burden, but then I saw that I could not take that burden because I have a new respect for teachers. When I went there, I saw that it was not just a job. It was more like you were
commitment.
Commitment, and then there were many angles to it that I know I cannot personally take. So, and that's just one reason. And the second reason is that I think I need. For me, it is not about teaching. I think I'm more about writing. So that's something that I would like to focus more.
So you were teaching maths. At
maths.
You were teaching maths in Gunjung at Gunjung, and so why is that? Because you love maths?
Yes, actually I love maths. I used to teach maths since I was in class 12 because I used to tutor people, students from my own village and then nearby areas. But now that I've seen it I don't think I love maths anymore as much as I do before, because teaching is different and studying is different. So,
so what do you love more, maths or writing?
Writing.
Okay.
Writing.
Without a question.
Without a question, writing, because writing, it gives me the chance to express myself. I mean, there are many things that people then can contribute towards. I used to think that I should contribute towards it with maths, but then I saw that we don't need more people who knows maths. We need more people who can think more. So
we need thinkers.
We need thinkers. So I think to get thinkers, you have to read more, and to read more, you have to have more writers. That's the reason.
I think science teachers or maths teachers might disagree. I think they will probably think, oh, wait. I mean, maths also, it needs a lot of thinking, and come on, we are scientists. We make things based on maths.
When I say thinking, I'm not talking about this thinking in the sense that this academic thinking. I'm saying that we should think more as a person, as a human. So I think in that sense we are lacking. Academically we are doing good, but I think in that sense we are lacking, because we don't have people who think more beyond their boundaries of caste, creed, tribe, and community, or a special or one area. We don't think beyond that. So we should have more thinkers, and that's what I try to convey in my poems and whatever I do, I write.
So with your writing, I see that you want to encourage people to think about what is happening around their lives a bit more seriously. Maybe. I mean,
that's the point. People tend to think only what they want to think. So what I want to say is, we have so many angles to some what we have around us. So it's not just what we feel or what we experience. We should think about other people's experience also. So that's the thinking should go beyond that. That's what I am trying to say. And as in one of my earliest poems, I wrote, in each other's shoes. I wrote that whatever our communities it is, whatever our tribes or whatever we are doing right now, the thinking should be that what we are not just one people. We are different people in one land together. So that means we should step in each other's shoes also, not just in our own shoes and then back from there. That's not the point. We should be thinking for all of us. I mean, if the Dimasa should think for the Kukis should think for the Mars, and all the other tribes should think for each other. That's what I think I'm trying to say.
So basically, what I get from your idea and from what you write, it's like basically you want love to prevail.
Love.
You want love to prevail. You want people to be listening to each other more and loving each other more. Like before hating or disliking something, you should listen to all the people around and then form an opinion. That's what I think you are trying to convey through your poems.
Before having these opinions, we should think more about how our opinions can affect or how wrong we can be also. So that's what I'm trying to say. That's something that we are learning in schools actually. But then we come out of school and then somehow we get involved in this my tribe, my nation, or one nation, one people, or one land, one people. That kind of thinking, it gets to us. So I think that thinking is not good for the future, because it will ultimately make us more divisive, and it will create disharmony, and then one day finally we will all be there fighting.
Don't mind the smoke behind us. ये कछुआ है, mosquito coil, and we are today थोड़ा बाहर में podcast कर रहा है आज में. We want to have the fresh air because it's such a beautiful day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And
it's a beautiful day, and we can
the
see the
other
barail
side.
on that side. So
the typical Haflong day.
Yes, typical Haflong day.
And how blessed we are, no?
Blessed.
The moment you wake up, you can see the range, the barail range out there. Because
I think that is why you are saying you got homesick also.
Yeah,
Like you frequently get homesick
I
while
cannot go
work.
to other places. I cannot go to other places for long because ultimately it makes me miss my family, my friends, and Haflong as a whole, because the sounds and the smell of this place is very unique, and that's what actually what makes me start writing poetry. Because as I said in feature article in the Eclectic, I was featured in 2017 or 2018. I said there that when we read about poetry, we read about how, say, for example, England, Scotland. We read about all these places. I have never been there, but when I read about these places, I get a image of how life is like, or how the places are like. So basically, my poetry started with bringing such kind of imagery for other people to see, so that all this beauty that we have here, it does not just remain with us, but we can share it to other people also through words. That's what I started with, and from nature I came on to social issues. Yeah, that's part of me, the growing. What can I say?
True. I think for us also, I think it happened that way because we got married in the year 2015. And then that year we started a lot of new things. I mean, marriage was a new chapter. At the same
Marriage
time,
was a new thing.
new thing. But then the one factor which was binding all of the things that we are doing in our new journey was, I think, the place Haflong.
Yeah.
So like you started your poetry, you know, like getting inspired by nature, by like Haflong. I think same with us. So even this channel that we are putting up this video in Haflong Vlogs. So that's why it is called Haflong Vlogs. So we were following a lot of you know, creators on YouTube and all. But when we thought of making a channel of our own and, you know, start making videos, so the first thing which came to our mind was the place, you know. Instead of us as individuals, like me as Daniel or Avantika, or us as Daniel and Avantika, it was like Haflong, you know, because every day we were just waking up and just marveling at this place that we have. So this was so much bigger than us individually, and
This is
that
the most
inspired us.
inspiring place ever. I mean, it makes us do things that we never thought
Thought
we'd
of
do.
doing. Actually, that's what happened, I think.
I never thought, when I was in school, I never thought I would write poetry also. I started just waking up in the morning and seeing the sunset and seeing this clouds, the white clouds amongst the blue hills. One cannot just simply ignore those things. You have to write them down somewhere, so that because those things, those views, most people don't see those views. So for us, we are very blessed, and we want to say, I want to personally share this to other people through imagery and stuff. I don't know if I succeeded or not, but that's one of the main factors that brought me into poetry.
So do you see, like, what you do, writing poems, as a way of capturing the time that you're living in, the place, what you're seeing, what you're hearing? Is that a way of capturing this? Because for us, it was like that, like making videos, making vlogs. It was like for us, it's an album. It's like a photo album of what happened during our times. So that, because no one is writing our history. I keep saying that to a lot of people, because it's a small place, and we as a community, very few people know about us, what is happening. I mean, it's not like people need to know, but
still,
it will be lost, you know.
But
So it's like when we are making videos, when we are putting out art, writing a song about it, writing a poem about it, maybe I see it as documenting. I mean, you, Andrew, you are also documenting what is happening during our times, what we are seeing. You're writing history. You're I see it as writing history of our place, you know. I don't think ever kabhi school mein to I don't know hoga na nahi history of Haflong or history of hum loग का district book जैसे पढ़ने मिलेगा ना नहीं. But for example, I remember this poem written by you, that old man from Nana Disa. So that is also a story of how people during our times are traveling far to sell their vegetables, you know. Can you tell us a little bit about that poem? Because I mean, even me and Avantika, we both...
I've already chit-chatted with him on that topic, and it turns out that that man was fictional. But and actually, I found a man who would come here.
No, it is fictional, but subconsciously it was a subconscious decision to write about him, because I have seen him. I know I have seen him, though I cannot remember him, but I know I have seen him, because like I said, when I was a child, it was not very much what it still is not, but it is a little urban now. But those days it was rural, and my place, most of us used to, for us, our getaway was going to the river, you know. So when you cross the river, the Diang River from Sumpijang, then that is the Nana Disa village. So finding that man, seeing that man, I think I have seen him once or twice. So I know that I cannot definitely say that I have seen him, but I know that for sure that I must have seen him somewhere. So he was there in my mind always. So I imagine him coming down from the Nana Disa hill, then coming to the railway tracks, and then crossing the crossing the Diang Bridge, then into the tunnel, and then coming up again to Sumpijang, and then only did he get this auto rickshaw to come to town. So basically, it is the last verse of that poem. It became a little psychological, because I find that when I wrote it, I did not think about it. Then at the last, I look at it and I saw, if he had to come that far, start from there that far, and then come to Haflong, then when he reached here, he would have no more time to do whatever he was here for. So that way, it's just universally you can interpret it as how we always have no time. You know, when no matter how much we try to do something, then the time is always not enough. So that's something that I personally find in that the life of that in the journey of that old man from Nana Disa. Yeah, that's what and that's what made me write that poem. Was actually not the psychological part, the last lines. When I started it, I did not even think about that one. But when I wrote it, then when I reached half, then it got to me that this is like my life. I was always rushing.
Is that like your life?
Yeah.
Because the whole day she has been complaining that...
No. I was just talking to myself. What happened? I'm telling you.
That you don't have enough time to do things.
I have been attempting. No, I have attempted. Not attempted. I have started to write a book.
Yeah.
Okay. So while I was in Delhi for over 1 month, I told you. Okay, I was with my sister babysitting my newborn niece. So there I got a lot of time. I was looking after the baby, feeding, cleaning the poop, but then I got a lot of time. But even though I was stuck inside an AC room, very smaller, but there was no fresh air, I was able to write. But once I reach Haflong, I literally do not have time. I need more hours in a day. It's like somebody knocks at the door. Sometimes he wants tea. Then I cook. Then I make tea. Sometimes he wants to eat lunch, and
sometimes you want to have tea.
Sometimes it's like if I don't give him good breakfast, he complains. So again, I have to feed him like good breakfast. So I'm like that cooking, cleaning, and moreover we have like 8 dogs. So somehow I have not been able to manage my time. So exactly like the man from Nana Disa, I am running out of time. Like whole day I've been trying to write. I just bought the bag from my bedroom to the kitchen table, and my book is just inside the bag. Till now I have not opened it yet. So I think managing time also becomes a task, because every day I feel like I'm also under pressure. I mean, no one is pressuring me, but I think every day I have to be productive.
Yes.
Productive. Write something, be something, do something. Don't just sit there. Don't just be idle. So I think that pressure is getting into my head, and I'm not being able to find time. I mean,
when I wrote that piece, The Old Man from Nana Disa, most people commented and said they were only thinking about the physical aspects. I mean, they were only talking about how they relate to that person. But in reality, when I wrote it, I was not thinking about whether it is relatable or not. I was thinking about that same thing that you told just now. You said just now, how we in Haflong, we are always rushing. We are always in a hurry doing things. But still, there is this sense of completeness, in doing things. He did not do everything, but still I know he will come back again the next day.
Yeah.
That's kind of, life goes on like that. It's a different kind of feeling. I mean, just as you said, people are related to each other in some way or the other.
Yeah.
People will come in, they will go. They will come in, they will go. It's that kind of hustle bustle life. That I think that is the thing that we are looking for, not the quiet life actually, because that's what we are enjoying. That is what is enjoyable about Haflong, because it is fun to be with people, around people. When in cities and all, even though they are big places, they are disconnected.
Yeah, they are disconnected. It's like
individually,
friends call you over for a
Yeah.
party. But I'm not saying all friends are bad, but I remember while I was younger, while I was in Delhi, then friends would invite you for dinner and they would be like, bring your own booze, okay? I mean, like, for me, it was such a big shocker. Malab, you call me for a party and why should I bring my own booze? Because back home,
I
if
can
it's the
drink-
party in my house, then I mean, like, no one asks. I mean, it's not like it's your duty to give me free booze, but then they would be like straight upright on your face. मतलब अपना दारू लेके आना, ठीक है? उसके बाद हम पार्टी करते हैं और उसके बाद 10 बजे तक ही होगा पार्टी and then after that. But out here it's like we are not like that. We are still very open. I don't know if you have a different opinion about it.
No, I mean, but what I'm thinking right now constantly when both of you are talking about how in Haflong it is more, people are more connected and but what I'm feeling is Haflong is also moving too fast.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
what I'm feeling.
kind of.
I mean, population wise, I think Haflong has already reached its limit, crossed its limit. I mean, it's a small town. The population ideally should not be more than 30,000. But the thing is, I think according to the last census, and it has not been updated since 2011. So right now it must easily be over like 60,000. So which I feel is a little too much. And so that is now out of our control. So when the town is growing too fast, then obviously things will start happening, and I already see that happening.
Yeah,
you
so
know.
the connect will be broken somewhere.
Yes.
So there is a little bit of concern which I have.
Yeah.
Of course, not everything is in your hands,
Yeah.
and you can't say that this is the right way or
Yeah.
that is the right way. But then, of course, it's good if the town is more connected, And unfortunately, I feel we are moving too fast.
Yes, we are moving
So I think
sort of.
थोड़ा slow down करना है, and which is why I think we are also feeling that there's less time
Yes.
और करना है और मतलब so I understand when you're saying कि मतलब that part I really like, because ठीक है सब कुछ करने नहीं सका, everything could not be done in
One day.
that fateful day by that old man from Nana Disa, but that's fine, right? And the same way I feel, because you also have been thinking, and I think that is where the pressure is coming from.
Yeah.
I understand, because this whole culture nowadays that we are surrounded by, and especially because of social media, so it's like, oh, one day is also so many things that you have to do.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
have
you
to
see
make the most of it.
you see successful people
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
and society tells you that these are the successful people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
they're
then they
like-
go on holidays.
Yeah, and you see the successful people, they are like working hard
Yeah.
every day, and every day kuch na kuch matlab, you're at this press conference, or you are doing
cutting
something,
ribbons.
you're cutting ribbons, or you're training hard and everything, like one day, and you're documenting every day.
yes.
Every day you're Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, every day. मतलब एक दिन भी rest नहीं. When people are like, that
Yeah,
person
that
is
man
hard
is
working,
working.
man,
That
and that is
lady
why
is
that is why
working.
they are successful.
Yes.
So
So you think I've got into that rut?
I mean, most people have.
What about me?
And I think that's where the pressure comes in.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
To be more productive.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I'm not. Let us not confuse this with laziness and people who are just not motivated to do
To do
anything
anything.
at all. You know, who are I don't know what to do. I'm clueless. You know,
I'd
not
rather
that.
play PUBG.
But
PUBG. Yeah.
so I also keep telling myself and keep telling her that maybe the stress should not be bigger, so that we forget why we are doing it.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
for example, if you're writing a
Yep,
book
yep.
or you're doing something, I mean, why are you doing it?
Yes.
Is it just because you want it to get published and you want lots of people to read it and you
Yes,
know
yes.
it to be liked and
Yes, yes.
everything? I mean, that comes
Yes,
with it. But if you don't enjoy and if you don't have a strong will why you want to write
Yes.
it, then the other things are secondary,
Secondary,
which I
yeah.
feel.
Yeah, that's the same problem that I faced a few years ago when I started my Facebook page. I started in 2015, but initially there was hype around it because I had good friends and they said yes, it's a good thing to do it, and they told me it's a great idea. And they read my works and they commented, and then finally after 1 year or 2 years, those the comments got, and then no more comments. A simple like, not even likes anymore. And then people stopped telling me, oh, I like that work. It was very discouraging. But I told myself at that point that what I'm doing is not just for people to like it. It's me putting out my thoughts.
Yeah, it's your outlet, yeah.
It's my outlet. If I forget that whatever I'm doing is not for likes and it's just for me, then maybe I will stop. But that's why I'm still writing today. I think because ultimately now I'm kind of addicted to it, because whenever I feel something, I need to write it down.
Yeah.
So otherwise, it feels like it is inside me and it's eating me inside. So and I think that's a good thing, because most people are being eaten inside by their thoughts.
Yeah.
For me, this is a very kind of salvation thing for me to write. So,
Therapeutic
yeah.
also at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah, and I also remember having a conversation with you. He was talking about during the last AVM sessions, he was here, performed, and then I can share it with him, right? And
No
he
problem.
told like he had a senior teacher.
Yes.
No, he told me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that he told you about it. So let me say it again. So he was like, his senior teacher
Yes.
told him like, Andrew, you should. What?
Yeah.
You should be.
Yeah, your recitations.
Your recitation is not that great.
Not very great.
You should practice more.
Yeah.
So I was like, what the hell? I mean, that's what he was telling me. Like, I cannot recite well, but then I like writing. So writing is his forte. So there are, I mean, different ways people try to bog you down.
Yes,
So
yes.
what would you like to, what do you think about the present youth who are facing, like you said, like they are being eaten down, like,
Yes.
you know, from inside.
Yes.
Something is bothering them.
Yes.
Like they are like 16, 18 years
Yes.
old. They are like, oh, girlfriend chhod diya. And they are literally very depressed.
Yes,
I can see that physical change in
Yes,
them. I know one who keeps coming to our house is like girlfriend issues, and then he cannot sleep at night, and he has got pimples on his face, and you can actually see that they are
Yes, yes.
mentally, physically, they are toiling. They are going through that turmoil. I mean, what do you think, like, this youth should engage in? Like, for you it's writing,
Yes.
but for some
Yes.
some just get
That's
lost.
that's the purpose of art, I think, because maybe we all have to find one outlet or the other, because sometimes some become good motivational speakers not because they just became one. They had to face many things until
Yeah.
they become one. So like that. So unless we make those what is sitting inside, unless we bring them out and then make it our own, unless we do that, I don't think it will be. I don't think this creativeness will be our outlet. So I don't think it will be eating us inside always. So. I have seen my own friends also doing the same thing. One, as you said, for girlfriend, boyfriends, all those
Yeah.
problems. Yeah. Then he got into mobile games, and then he got stuck inside his house for a long time, and then he did not talk anymore. And when he comes out, even when we see him, even if you speak to him, he will be like he does not respond anymore. He just walks away like that, and I fear for him. I used to fear for him because maybe he would have suicidal thoughts. And all.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. but ultimately he got better and better. These days I see him often too. But then that it is a thing. It can happen to any one of us. Before a few years ago, there was a suicide in just below our village in the jungle. Well, we don't even know where that woman come from. But ultimately we found out that he was Dimasa. He was from, I don't know which village, but around here. But he came that side to commit suicide. Yeah. So that made me think that whether we want it or not, whether it sound how to say hilarious or not, but we have to deal with this depression also. And I think for me, as I said, writing is an outlet. So it should be creativity. I mean, it's every other thing that we do with creativity. And we should adopt one. I mean, look, we have. I have an uncle who used to write songs. He was a songwriter, but he was also a council employee. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, we should not make it just our job. Because for me, if I just say I'm a poet and just sit there at home or look around to what to write and all, then I'll not find anything. But we should live life as normal as we can, as how we should not break our relationship with anyone. We should move on and go on and go on, and what we find and what we feel and what we experience, that we have to write. Not we should not be just observer. We should live the life. That's what I think. Because as I said, my uncle also used to sing about Haflong and then Sumpis and then areas, outward areas, and I'm very much inspired by him. He died in 2015. So he was also a council employee, and whatever he experienced, he used to write. In his songs, you can find mention of Lower Haflong Hill, and then.
Is there any recorded?
Yeah, he actually recorded an album in 2000.
Okay.
2000. Yeah, 2000.
You can share with us.
Is that in the Kuki language?
Yeah, it's in Sado Kuki.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I can't translate because he used very how to say sophisticated words. But
but then music has that power to like
to make you
because it's not just
understand,
words, right? It's the melodies and everything. Like you can kind of get the vibe of the whatever the writer is trying to say.
Yeah, I think that's his outlet. So as I said, for everybody, for every youth, and for everyone who is experience all these problems, myself personally, I think it is better to keep it. It's better to take it out, even if you are not showing anybody, then to write it out and to make it in one, keep it in one piece instead of inside. I think that is better.
That's important.
That's important.
I totally agree with that.
So, because I'm thinking about the teacher who told you about your recitation.
She was not wrong.
So,
not wrong.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, because criticism is necessary.
Yes, it is necessary.
Because if someone tells you, if you know that okay, I'm perfect and I know everything, that's fine. But if you know that okay, I do need to improve myself, then we can always learn. But with social media and even real life, but more so in social media, you get so much of free advice and free criticism. So that can sometimes, even before you have started, you know, you can get discouraged very easily. And that is, I think, very important, because it's easy to say ki, okay, young people, you might be depressed or you might be sad about something, so why not take it out, you know, find an outlet. Why just writing? It can be mobile games also, if you are really serious about your mobile gaming, and you know, you really enjoy and makes you a happier person, everything. But then it's very easy for people to come and say, hey, क्या मोबाइल फोन में खेलते रहता है दिन भर, you know, क्या लिखते रहता है, what, क्या गाना गाता है, तो तेरा आवाज तो गाने के लिए है ही नहीं. Your writing is very, your grammar is I mean, so even so that's what I did also, like your uncle, with Mr. India, I was also pushing myself, because I was also going through all these things, you know, because I experienced Haflong after a long time, because I was studying, I was a musician, and I was touring all over India for a very long time, and then I came back to Haflong. So it was like it was my hometown. I knew about this place, but then when I came, it was different. Like I know it, I also don't know
Yes,
this
I
place
can-
also.
can
I mean, who are these people?
Yeah.
What's this place all about?
Yes.
So all these problems that I was seeing, and then it affected me, and I needed an outlet.
Yes.
So that's what I did with Mr. India song.
Yes,
But then those songs were direct from my heart,
Yes.
and so it was like many people were like, "Kya hai? What are you saying?"
Yeah.
Na? First song that I sang was "Gu Khao."
Khao.
I mean, how can you say "Gu Khao"? How can you tell people to eat shit? You know? And now people tell me, "Arey, abhi to tum bhi politician ho gaya," and so tum bhi gu khao.
Yes.
Matlab, you know, I'm saying like fine. When I said "Gu Khao," it was not me telling others "Gu Khao." I was telling myself also because you know, come on, like let's
Yes.
bullshitting us too much.
Yes.
कितना bullshit अपना को हम लोग देते रहेगा.
हाँ.
Let's just be more open and be honest.
Yes.
If not 100% honest, let's start
Yes,
at least.
yes.
And so the songs were not perfect.
Yes.
So I pushed myself. Writing सुबह उठ के हम गाना लिखता था, नहीं तो रात को whenever I used to find time, I knew because 1-2 takes में लेता रहा. When I used to listen to it, I knew कि मतलब हम off गाया इसमें. हाँ, ठीक है. गिटार का कुछ tuning नहीं हुआ. I could record it again, make it better.
Yeah.
But I think the idea was to let it out, even with all the imperfections. And I think that is why in today's world, मतलब art has to be seen थोड़ा मतलब थोड़ा imperfect होना चाहिए. I feel. Only then will you expose yourself.
yeah.
And because you know कि मतलब this is my art, I know इसमें flaws है, I know it is going to attract मतलब critics and haters and everyone, but that is fine because only then can you come out of this what we are talking about, depression and sadness ना. Because if we cannot accept कि मतलब हम में भी कुछ गलती है, दुनिया में भी कुछ मतलब प्रॉब्लम है, आदमी में भी प्रॉब्लम है. अगर if we don't accept this, then we'll never come out of it and we'll just keep on you know hiding from the world. So when you open up and मेरा flaws है, देखो जो देखने मांगता, that is the step towards overcoming you know your shell से बाहर निकलने के लिए और embracing the world. So and
Can we break for tea?
no,
Tea आ गया.
let's end this.
Okay.
Actually I was going towards ending it. So Andrew, so you have been continuously for the last couple of years putting out your poems out in the social media, and then you finally decided to you know print a book, publish a book. So how did that thought came about, and more importantly I want to know how did you do it? Because many people might be interested to get a book published, like
they don't
how
know how
did
to
you
go
do
about
it?
Actually, I did not spend single money on doing it.
Okay.
It was maybe that's because I can personally edit it and they do the DTP and all. So it started. The idea to write the book was it started when I saw that I had more than 70 poems. I had more than 70 poems, and I don't want them to be lost in somewhere in a folder in my laptop or just somewhere lost in online. So I wanted them to be in a book so that even if it does not sell, even if it does not have much reader, but still it will be in a book that I can give to somebody, also that I can keep myself. So that was the idea. It was not such a big idea when it started. But then, so what I did was I went on to pothi.com. That is a website for self-publishing books. They have this editing services and all also, but I chose not to do all those because I could do it myself, all those. And then there was this friend of mine, Asai Lintang. He personally told me that if you want, I can make the cover for you. What kind of cover do you want? So I told him to make the scene, the view before the council road. That if you look at the book in the cover, it is that scene. So I told him to make that view. So that
he made it in black and white.
Yeah, he made it in black and white. Yeah.
So he sketched it.
He sketched it. Yeah.
Okay.
So that people will know that it is Haflong. So that's what I did, and then when he gave it to me, I edited the cover and all, and I did everything by myself, and then I uploaded it as a ebook, and then I gave only the money for this publication. So
Okay.
it does not take much time if you know this DTP and all, but I personally did not want my books to be just available in pothi.com. So they have this feature where you can give some money to distribute it online in Flipkart and Amazon as well. So I spent some money there too. That's all I did, I think. Yeah, that's all I did. And it did not sell very much, I should say, but I think I did at least accomplish doing what I have been thinking my whole life.
Yeah.
Was kind
That's
of
a very
achievement.
commendable task. I mean, you give me inspiration because I remember a few days back I took out my long lost diaries from class 5, 6, 7, 8. So imagine my documentation from 1995. He's like, "Kun porega tara book? Kya korega isko?" So I'm now thinking, why didn't I have the idea that you had of publishing it so that it can be in a book format, not my entire diary or maybe just snippets from it or the poems that I written over the course of time. Could have been a nice idea if I would have had back then. But now it's never too late for people out there who are writing and want to write more and self-publish. They can always contact Andrew for details and help.
Yeah, so just put it out there. So your diary can be like Bridget Jones' diary, right?
Oh my God, there are so many
that,
censored
that
things.
got turned into a movie also. So just put it out. It's out there. Like it's not like you have to write a classic. There's no pressure, right?
There's no
Like
pressure,
you have to
Yeah,
become the
that's-
best writer or.
That's what I thought about mine too when I did it. I was thinking ये में तो मेटर भी नहीं है, राइम भी नहीं है, मेटाफोर भी नहीं है, लेकिन मैंने लिखा है तो रख देंगे. So I tried to classify all my poems into different topics.
Okay.
If it turns out for one topic there's only one poem, I mean the way what I experienced I used to write that. So it becomes like many topics, just one poem on one topic. That way I could not really classify it, but still I tried. But I think the book is a mess still, but I tried at least.
So if anyone wants to get the physical copy of the book,
Yeah, it is
can they
available.
still
Yeah, it's-
order it?
Yeah, it's available on Flipkart and Amazon.
Okay.
It will be very unwise of us to not have the book. So
Yes,
we need
yes.
to
I
purchase it.
I mean,
I'm actually thinking about doing it better this time. I mean, publishing it again. This time with a little more, how to say, a little more help from other academics also. I whatever I did it was very amateur, I should say, but still I am very glad that I did it because at least I accomplished what I was dreaming to do.
No, that's amazing, man. What you
amazing,
did is great. Like that is exactly what we need to keep inspiring each other.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, Andrew.
Thank
So sensational
there-
hometown.
And somebody has tried
Oh, that's-
waking up that
somewhere near.
insect.
Oh, there.
Which one?
It's called a cigar.
Yeah. So this is
Beauty of Haflong.
video of
You get
Haflong.
invaded by mosquitoes
If-
and all these insects.
If you hear this, the
Mosquitoes not so much, but insects.
This was very loud.
this
He
is
or
very
she
loud.
was very loud.
sound, you see.
Actually, I think he or she wanted to be a part of the podcast, and she was just telling us like, okay, this is what I think about poetry. Okay, so the evening is
It's a
setting.
beautiful
It's a beautiful
dusk,
evening,
yeah.
and time for tea.
Yeah.
And I think it's time also for us to end the podcast.
Yeah.
But it was really nice
Nice
talking
to
to
have
you,
you.
Andrew.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, what's the plan now? Because you're taking a break from teaching,
Yeah.
and what
Just
what's
as
the
I
plan
said,
now?
just as I said, like my uncle, I want to be doing my normal life, but this is going to be there always, my writing, so that, because as I said, my writing will stop if I stop living the normal life. So
Okay.
I'm going to do whatever I find along the way. So, but when it comes to this poetry, I think I'm thinking of doing another book again. I mean, apart from those which are published already, there are many more. So,
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to get them together.
Okay.
But like any other anxious auntie or any human being out there, how are you going to sustain yourself? Kaisa khayega tum? If you're not going to work, that's the question we always get bombarded with before you and I we ventured into politics. They would be like, "Kaisa khata hai aap log kon? Kya karta hai? Nahi karta hai? How are you going to sustain yourself?" Like, just wanted to ask.
Abhi bhi people ask us.
Abhi bhi?
So
Yeah, no, I'll eventually find something.
Yeah, there's no
pressure,
rush.
no rush.
Yeah.
I'm not even 25 yet.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to turn 25 in October only.
Yeah.
I have no rush, and things are going well right now, so I'm going to enjoy it. I don't know when I'll die, or when till it says I'll live, so I'm going to enjoy it.
So,
right
I mean,
now.
it's so great to know people like you and all of us. We do not value money like to be in the highest pedestal of success. For us, money is important, but itna bhi nahi hai ki matlab you tend to forget to live your life.
Yes.
So I think that's what you are going to
Living
have.
life to the
Wish you
fullest.
a great life ahead.
Yeah.
Enjoy your leisure time. Write well,
looking forward to
and
more
surprise
books.
us. Yeah.
More books.
Thank
And
you.
for those of you who want to check out Andrew's poetry, it's available online on his Facebook page and Instagram.
Yes.
Andrew Hang Sing Says So.
Yeah.
That's it.
We'll link it all down below in the description. You'll find it there. And if you're the kind who like physical copies and not just to read digitally on a screen, then you can go and still get copies of his first book of poems, which is titled Sensational Hometown. And link for that is also down below. And down below. And plus we'll be doing more home sessions. Whenever it's coming up, we'll let you know. And we hope that Andrew, whenever you're free, whenever you can,
sure,
be part of the sessions, and we would love to hear from you. Would love to hear new poems and new thoughts and new stories from you.
Thank you. I will definitely come.
Yes. Thank you so much,
Thank
Andrew.
you so much
Thank
for your
you
time. Thank
for
you.
your time. And
before we end, do subscribe to our YouTube channel, Haflong Vlogs.
yes, do subscribe for more stories, for more podcasts.
Yeah.
Direct Dil Se. So, Andrew, take care and keep writing.
Yeah, thank you. I'll definitely.
Yes. Bye bye.
Bye bye. See ya.